We move on to the Duquesne Dukes and head coach Jerry Schmitt, offensive lineman Matt Fitzpatrick, and Nehari Crawford, outstanding wide receiver. Jerry, last year, tough game against Central. They wound up coming away with the title, but I know you guys got to be chomping at the bit to get at it this year and see if you can climb that mountain again.
Well, congratulations to Central. They did a great job in that last game. It was a great football game to watch, I would imagine. Fun one to play, but you know, we've learned from that and moved on, and we are excited to start this NEC season.
Well, we're talking about two of your star players right over here. And Nehari, I have to tell you, your hands, some of the catches you come down with, amazing.
Thank you.
What is it that has made you such a natural receiver?
I think it's just hard work. I've been working since I was younger and trying to be the best I can be, so I think that's what it is.
So you practice being a receiver like as a kid? I mean, is this something you always wanted to do? A lot of kids want to be a quarterback, you know. They want to throw it. They don't want to catch it.
But I told the coach, I don't want to just throw touchdowns. I want to catch them too. So since then, I've been catching touchdowns.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, one of the most important things to being a successful, productive receiver is the quarterback position. You've amazed me that you were able to replace a 3-year starter with a guy that performed as well as he did last year. I mean, it was amazing to me to see the development he made at such a short period of time. And now you're going out and found another one. Could you tell us a little bit about him?
Well, yeah, we have a transfer come in, Dan Parr, and he'll compete with Brett Brumbaugh we have in our program already. And I think that competition last year, Tommy competed with Brett last year, and I think that helps, as you know.
Yep.
That always makes you develop and play at your highest level. And so, you know, they were both there in the spring, and they were both competing, and you know, we think Dan does a really good job, and he's going to compete for the job.
How do you find these guys? How do you know that they're out there, these other schools? That's what amazes me. Things have changed so much since before you guys were born. I was coaching college, but I mean, that's amazing because it's happening all over the country now.
Well, you know, in the profession, there's a lot of connections and networks, and you hear some things and you talk to people, and my staff's very personable, and they get out and talk to everybody, and when you hear some things, and the ironic thing is Dan Parr's parents are originally from the Western Pennsylvania area, and he still has relatives in that area, so that was one of the connections.
Matt, I want to ask you, because Stewart threw over 20 touchdown passes last year, was a very productive QB, as we just heard from, and Crawford, of course, on the other end of a lot of those throws. So what is it that it does for you as an offensive lineman when you know that you've got big play guys at the skill positions?
It definitely helps. I think that we just try to we're not looking for the big play. We're just trying to chip away.
You'll take them though,
and then they happen. If you keep doing the right things all the time, I think that the big plays will come. I think that that's something that we all kind of focus on, is just trying to do your job every play, and then one of those plays, a big play will happen, and then you see what happens. Nehari scores a touchdown.
You know, one of the things that has impressed me now, being 3 years in the league, is that your line play has been at the top of the league every year that I've been in the league, and that to me has been one of the most distinctive features and probably one of the most significant reasons why you've been so good. But it's got to help a little bit with the running back you have behind you. You talk about a physical guy that likes to go north and south. He adds a different dimension, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He's a really downhill runner, and I wouldn't want to tackle him, I'll tell you that much. He's fun to block for. And you know that he's going to stay on path and help you make your blocks, and we hope we get him a little bit of daylight, and next thing you know, he's gone.
Yeah, A.J. Hines, one of the premier backs. And, you know, Nehari, people talk about how the running game opens up the passing game. Do you notice that a lot of times, that guys are kind of cheating, worried about what's going to happen in the box?
Yes, me and A.J. complement each other well. You know, if a team want to stack the box, we're able to pass it, and if you want to spread out and worry about the pass, A.J. will get you for a long run.
I just get, well, I'm going to stay away from you on this. I want to go to you two guys on this, only because I know how painful it has been for me when I've gone through that experience. Now, we were at the game last year. That, as Coach mentioned, that game was as good a game as you get from our point of view, from a stand, you know, fans. But when you're in it and it doesn't turn out the way you want, and I was at a team that we gave up the biggest comeback in the history of the National Football League when I was with the Houston Oilers. So I know what it's like, and I also knew the approach we took with what happened and how we were going to go about our business the next year. What have you guys decided? Is it something that's been a rallying cry, or is it something you're just staying away from?
It for sure left a terrible taste in our mouths, and it's something that's kind of fueled our off season. And we've had a really great off season working out, and it's something that we have to let go. We're going to let it go, and we're going to just focus on the next game and every game, and just try to. We've used it throughout the off season, and now we're it's over, we're done, and we're ready to move on.
Yeah, we really just focusing on finishing, and we take everything one game at a time. You know, we worry about our opponents when they come. We're not too focused just on Central.
Now, you got to thank your coach. You guys got an Hawaii trip this year. Yeah, Duquesne is going to Hawaii. It is on the schedule. You got UMass as well, another big-time program. Coach, you got to explain exactly what went into getting the pineapples on your schedule.
Well, we can thank our director of athletics, Dave Harper. He did a great job in working that situation out, and it's going to be a great experience for our players and our fans and boosters, and everybody's excited about it. So a lot of logistics to it, obviously, but we're going to enjoy that trip and go out and play hard and have fun with that.
Guys, you got to be energized by that whole schedule when you saw it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How do you navigate that fine line between enjoying the uniqueness of the experience but realizing what you're out there for?
Well, I've talked to a couple guys that have played out there, and they have some ideas and some things they've done, good and bad, and we've tried to learn from that. And you know, obviously, it's our first experience, so it is a challenge. We will leave Wednesday morning, so we'll have some opportunities to do some touring, but we'll have opportunities for our meetings and our practices and preparations, and you know, obviously we won't be in classes, so we'll have a little bit more time. We can do some studying while we're out there.
Quickly, aside from the trip, which is going to be fun for you guys, of course, what does it mean for you to be playing up against that kind of competition?
I just think we take it the same as any other game. Every game on our schedule, we prepare the same way. Just focus on one at a time and try to move on. I don't think that, other than it being a cool location, I think we're going to take it the same way we play anybody on our schedule.
I expect nothing else from the Dukes. Fellas, best of luck. Thanks for stopping by. Jerry Schmitt and the Duquesne Dukes.